What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first official episode of the Fitspod podcast. Did my test run last time, like how it went. So I think I'm gonna keep the setting that I have going right now. This may change over time as I keep this going. This episode, as opposed to the catch-up podcast, which is what I do on my review channel, the JH Review. Make sure to go over there, check me out as well. And I guess while I'm at it, I do singing covers as well. JHopSing, JHOPSING 23. Go check out my singing channel as well. So those are my other two channels. So got my promotion out the way. But as far as this podcast is everything health and fitness related. Any topics y'all might ever have, y'all want me to discuss, make sure to drop them down below in the comments and I can put them in a future episode. This podcast is going to be a little more shorter in length, a lot more shorter in length than my other podcasts. As with my other podcasts, I have to talk about music, mainly TV, current events, things like that. And with this podcast, I can be more focused, more centric on one topic, and that's fitness, health, exercise, all that. So tonight's topics are going to be the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting, two things that I have been using this week to see some amazing results. Oh my God, keto is for real, man. Even though I'm 1 week into it, I probably should, give it a couple more weeks and see if it's, the real deal. But I'm seeing this stuff in 1 week. So speaking of my results, let's talk about my results. This was my first week doing keto, and I started at 289 last week, and I weighed in at 281, I believe, this morning. So a total of 8 pounds lost. And if y'all saw that video I posted earlier today, I did my measurements and I measured my waist, and I was back in the 30s. So excited for that, man. I was so tired of being in the 40s. And I feel like my timetable, my goals are going to move faster than what I anticipated if I keep doing what I'm doing. So the momentum is there. I don't see it stopping anytime soon. And to be quite honest with you, even with combining this with T20, I haven't even done all my workouts. I maybe did 3 workouts this week just because I got busy with work and stuff like that. So still not an excuse though. But yeah, as far as T20 is concerned, I'm in week 3 right now. If y'all haven't seen my last video, I did rip and cut, I believe, one of the bonus workouts with that program. And not only does that involve, doing the step that comes with the program, of course, it also involves weights with that one. So that workout was cool. So if y'all haven't checked that out yet, make sure to go check it out on my channel. Just posted it up Wednesday, I think, so it should be fresh and up on my channel page. So what is the keto plan? Keto, I wouldn't necessarily consider it a diet. When I think of diet, I think, oh man, I gotta eat greens all day and nothing else. That's what I think about when I think of a diet. I'm still getting my calories in. I'm still eating the foods that I've already been eating, just in a different proportion. That's all. Even though, the carbs are barely there. I'll tell you that. But I'm even getting used to that part of it. But anyway, keto. What is keto? Keto is basically eating in a way to get your body used to burning fat for fuel instead of its preferred energy source, which is glucose, which comes from carbs. So when there's no carbs present, of course, your body has no alternative but to turn into fat for fuel. But of course, it could use protein as well. But in my case, I have a lot of fat to go around, so I don't have to worry about that part yet where, my muscles are being metabolized. So I would recommend this for people who have a lot of fat to lose, who can spare that. But those of you who are already in the 5 to 6% essential fat range, I don't see why you would need the ketogenic diet. At some point, I'm going to drop off of this. But anyway, so, okay, I've already went over what it is. I guess I'll just get into my benefits that I have seen thus far. Rapid weight loss, more than I'm used to. And also me being diabetic type 2, my blood sugar has been within very good range. All right, so I'm going to grab my logbook here and I'll go over my blood sugar rates prior to keto and during this week, my first week of keto. So prior to keto, I'm just going to go over fasting rates because I do a horrible job at doing my night rates. So I'm supposed to do it I'm supposed to do my blood sugar in the morning, and I'm supposed to take it at night after, usually 2 hours after dinner or bedtime. So these are the goals that were recommended to me, and these are diabetic goals. Before meals, 80 to 130 milligrams per deciliter. I'm shooting for normal people ranges. That's my goal because I'm trying to slash my A1C in half. So that would be 70 milligrams per deciliter to 100, I believe, fasting. 1 to 2 hours after meals, lower than 180. And for a normal range, I think it's below 130 or something like that. I can't really remember, or maybe 140. A1C less than 7% if I follow these numbers. My numbers were 6.7%, I believe, or 6.8. My last A1C a couple weeks ago. So I see my doctor in another 6 months. So I'll be there in February again. So I'm going to kill these numbers next time I see my doctor. So I'm pretty sure if I keep on with this, what I'm doing. But anyway, so prior to keto, my blood sugar for Monday was 110, Tuesday was 90, Wednesday was 105, Thursday was 86, Friday was 87, Saturday was 86, Sunday was 69. The week of keto, Monday was 77, Tuesday was 96, Wednesday 81, Thursday 63. Keep in mind that under 70 is low blood sugar. So if you're managing your blood sugar, please make sure, definitely if you're doing keto, because you won't be taking in that many carbs to even raise your blood sugar at all. Please make sure, keep that in mind. You don't want to be out here, hypoglycemic, my bad. Friday 68, Saturday 71, and today 93. That's because I ain't gonna lie, I had some wings the other day. I had some buffalo wings from Walmart and they were delicious. They were 13 grams of carbs. I didn't have no carbs the rest of the day, so I ate that. So anyway, has a great effect for blood sugar levels. So those of you who are diabetic out here trying to get your diabetes under control, keto can definitely work for you, just for the pure lack of carbohydrates that are raising your blood sugar. So let's talk about what I was doing before keto, because I was still losing weight, not at a rapid pace as I was. So I guess you could say I kind of transitioned into it because I was already doing low carb, which for me, I usually do around 25% of my calories come from carbs. So that's how I do when I do low carb. So I've already done low carb successfully. So if you're used to doing a low carb plan, then this should already be up your alley. All you have to do is just decrease your carbs down just a little bit more, okay? With your nutritional or macronutrient makeup doing keto, you're going to want to focus more on fats. Now, here's the misconception. Justin, why would I eat fats? I'm trying not to get fat, right? So fats versus carbs and protein. So of course, if y'all didn't know, there are 4 calories for every gram of carbohydrate or protein versus fat, which is 9 calories per every gram of fat. So basically, fats take up more calories. But at the end of the day, 9 times 5 is 40 and 4 times 10 is 40, right? So it's the same thing. It's just that people get out of control with fats and, you're getting access over your daily allotted calories, and that's what causes you to get fat. But it's not fat that makes you fat, right? Fat is actually good, the healthy type of fats anyway, that don't clog your arteries and all that stuff like that. Fat slow down digestion, make you feel full longer. So get those fats in your system. So with that being said, most of your makeup is going to be fats. So with me, I'm doing 60% fat right now, 35% proteins. I'm trying to keep my muscles up somewhat, so you got to keep the proteins to maintain your muscle, and 5% carbs. What that would equal, that would be 167 grams of fat, 219 grams of protein, and 31 grams of carbs. That's right, 30 grams. That's it. Even though I can actually eat at 3,000 calories and still lose weight, but I actually decreased at 500 more to 2,500. So I still have some wiggle room if I want to. So I can do between maybe 30 and 40 carbs if I want it. So how do you get these numbers? You can do the math, or you can just go get my Fitspod app I've been using for a long time now. You do a little quiz. It's going to ask you what your weight is, what's your goal weight, and also your how active you are outside of working out, and it's going to give you a number to follow. So usually that number is probably going to be somewhere between maybe 1,500 to 2,000, maybe, if you're looking to lose a lot of weight, or if you're a little bit more heavier set, you're probably going to be somewhere between 2,500 to 3,000 maybe. So with that being said, so it can figure that out for you. Then you can go in and select whatever ratio you want between fats, protein, and carbs. All right, so let's pretend you don't have my Fitspod though, and you just want to figure this off the dome, and you ain't into apps and tracking and all that stuff like that, but you want to know your numbers, right? So let's say I gave you a number, 2,000 calories. That's what you need to lose weight, right? So we'll use the same ratio. So let's figure out our fat. 60% of our calories need to come from fat, right? 2,000 times 0.60, which would be 60% of 2,000. That would be 1,200. So you have your calories. You have 1,200 calories of that 2,000 is coming from fat. Now you need to figure out how many grams that is. So I said earlier that 9 calories per every gram of fat. So that would be 1,200 divided by 9. You get 133.333. So let's just say 133 grams would come from fat. So that's how you figure that out. And you do the same thing with protein and carbs, except instead of dividing by 9, you would use 4. Okay. But for the heck of it, let's hone in on the carb part of this. So let's do that again. 2,000, except this time 5% of your carbs. So we're gonna do 5%. Is 100. So 100 divided by 4, because there are 4 calories per every gram of carb, right? 25. Not much, right? So that's how you figure that out. That's how you get your numbers if you're looking to do this. But even if you don't want to track every morsel of food, which I still would recommend that you do, the only part you really do have to count that really counts is carbs. But of course, make sure to get those fats and proteins in. Now, what foods would I recommend just off the dome? For fats, you want to have avocado. Eggs are also a good source of fat as well as protein. Oils, olive oil, is usually my oil of choice. And to even get more of that in, I would put oil in my protein shake or something. You're not gonna be able to taste it, but oil, peanut butter, stuff like that. throw that, in your shake. But with peanut butter, be a little careful because there may be some sugar in peanut butter depending on what brand you use. I'm using Jiffy with honey in it because that's my favorite. And it has 10 grams of carbs, I believe, but only 2 grams of it is fiber. So you subtract fiber from your total carb count and they'll give you your net carb count, which is what you really go by. So it would be 8 grams of carbs for every 2 tablespoons. Yeah, I know this stuff. 8 grams of carbs for every 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So keep that in mind. So things like that you'll have to watch for. Fruits, you're going to have to be very moderate with fruits. Fruits are good for you, but usually a serving is going to have somewhere between 15 to 20 grams. I just did the calculations for you. I said 25. That's already your carb allotment for the day. So be real careful with fruits. I would do like maybe half a serving in the morning. This is what I'm doing. If I want to make a protein shake or something like that, cut that joke in half and then, throw it in there. I think I made like a blueberry protein shake the other day. I just used half a cup of blueberries instead of the usual cup, which is the recommended serving. So yeah, be careful with fruits, or heck, you can get rid of it altogether. Now, if you're looking to get your antioxidants and all that good stuff in, maybe you need to look in like some type of powder supplement or something that provides those type of micronutrients or vitamins. Now, one more thing I wanted to bring up. What about when you feel weak? What about when you didn't prep right, you don't have clean foods around you? There is a such thing as dirty keto. I would use this seldomly. I've done it, and I'm still seeing results, but try to eat clean. You don't want, because this plan is allowing you to eat a lot of fat, don't choose the wrong fats, like from fried chicken, or let's say you wanted to be real cute and get a Whopper from Burger King, take off the bun and just put it in some lettuce, right? So those things still have a lot of high saturated fats, which you want to be limited in, maybe even trans fat. So those things you want to watch out for. But if you're having an off day, you can still get it in with some dirty foods, but just be careful. All right, so I think I went over the basics, food, what to eat, things like that. I guess one more thing that I have noticed with this is that my cravings are at an all-time low. I ate 1 donut this week, and that was because my blood sugar was low. I think the day that I was at 63 and they had some donuts at work, and I said, man, I'm gonna have 1 just so I can make sure my blood sugar stays right. But yeah, I really wasn't even craving that donut. I just ate it out of necessity. It's like, oh man, there's that donut, I want it, so cravings have been down. I have not really been hungry at all. I don't even think I've hit, did I say it again? I don't even think I hit the 2,500, which is my goal, on some days because I wasn't hungry. Now, I don't know if that's because of the diabetes medications I take, because it does kind of leave your appetite kind of low on some days, but I think, the keto might have something to do with it as well. Other things that I've heard that may have like side effects is that you get like headaches or something. I really haven't had that problem. I think possibly because I've already eased into it by doing low carb before doing keto. So that may have something to do with it. I haven't experienced any headaches or anything like that. So I think that covers everything as far as the ketogenic diet, what it is, what foods to eat, what your number should be, things like that. So I guess the last thing I'm going to get into is intermittent fasting. I'm not going to talk much about this. This is something I've kind of just been on and off of for the past couple of years. So I was introduced to this a couple of years ago. And what intermittent fasting is basically you're still getting your daily calories in. you're just doing it in a shorter time frame. The most popular method, I believe, is the 16-8 method, where you go 16 hours without food, and then you have an 8-hour eating window. Now, for me, I haven't 100% done this. Some days I'll do it, some days I won't. And it still yielded me great results. But if that's something y'all want to try, give that a try as well. It doesn't take really that long to get used to it. I say, man, give it a week. Really give it like a good week. And you'll start to notice that you really don't need to eat that much. And as far as fasting is concerned, I've also been fasting during my workouts. That's one thing I have been keeping consistent with, fasting during workouts. Keep in mind that my whole plan is to use fat for fuel. Once again, if you don't have anything in your system in the morning, definitely carbs, then your body has no choice but to attack the fat, right? And that's the whole goal. So everything I'm putting into place is to attack fat. Now, the whole spot reduction thing, there's still no such thing as that. But you can still attack fat. Now, where it will be attacked, I can't tell you that. Fat is going to fall off wherever it wants to fall off. It could be the stomach first, it could be the thigh first, it can be your face first. But there is no such thing as spot reduction. No such thing. So if I work on my arms all day, the fat is no, it don't work like that. Okay. So what else? Also with intermittent fasting, I think it's beneficial for people that are particularly busy in their day, who may not have time for breakfast. Maybe they can skip that part of their day and eat later on when they got a little time, or vice versa. If you're busy at night, eat during the day. You know what I'm saying? You basically shifting your eating portion to when you're less busy. But even though there is an argument that if you want to do it later in the day, that could hurt you. Definitely if you're not doing keto, if you're just, your regular carbs and protein, and you're having carbs at night and stuff like that, when your body is more prone to store that as fat as to use that for energy. That's another thing you might want to watch out for eating at night. But if you're doing keto, you don't have any carbs, so eat at night all you want to, right? Let's see. I think that's gonna wrap it up. That's really all I wanted to go over. I hope this helped y'all guys today. If y'all have any questions or topics y'all want me to cover in the future, make sure to drop them down below. All right, y'all. So finna go ahead and shut this down. Hope y'all like this video. I think I had fun doing this one today. Make sure to like the video if you did enjoy this, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Team Hop Fitness, if you haven't done so already. And once again, make sure to drop those comments down below. Any suggestions, topics that y'all want me to cover in future episodes, I'll be sure to do them. Other than that, week 4 is coming up. I got 3 more weeks of T20. Can't wait to the final product. Going to be doing before and after measurements, body fat, all that stuff. So with that being said, I will see y'all later. Deuces.